let's get it started. So welcome everybody to a new podcast that Eric Lopez and myself, Jerry Roldan, created. It's called The Home Game. So I'm super excited to share this with you guys, and let's get it started. So Eric, this will be the first and last episode we ever do, but we're going to do our best, and we're just going to keep bringing it to you. This is going to be a weekly podcast. The goal is to have us bring in educated people, so all of you that are listening, our viewers, can really educate yourselves on what it entails to buy a house, the things that you'll need, the secrets that the lenders are not telling you. We're just going to throw it all out there for you guys, because I think it's important for all of you to know the hard work that goes into helping people qualify and the myths that are out there. There's a lot of myths.
So who would you say is really like the target for this podcast?
New lenders, loan originators. A lot of people don't know our industry. They want to get into our industry, but they don't know how. Misconceptions of it is like, oh my God, I need to have a bachelor's degree to be able to do that. You really don't. Collectively in our office, we have over like 75 years of knowledge, maybe 100, because we have loan originators that have been in the industry for just as long as I have. And so like we all do things that have worked for us and that haven't, that we can pass on to you. So there's a lot of knowledge that's going to be coming your guys' way. I think the customers too, potential customers. And it's important for our customers to know what goes in our day-to-day basis, just so they have an idea and they understand literally like what's out there.
Yeah,
because a lot of, like this morning I had an appointment with the customer, and the lady was like, well, this other lender told me that I qualified. I said, how? She said, well, they told me right then and there. I'm like, no, they took an application, and based on their experience, they might have said, oh, we may have a deal for you. But then when it came down to it, she says, I sent them everything, and then they're like, started telling me all these things that I needed to provide, and I didn't want to do it anymore. And I said, but did you get the loan? She's like, no. I said, exactly. There's a reason why we do what we do and how we ask for everything up front.
Yeah.
So we're not misleading the customers. We're what you call chismosos in Spanish. We're just nosy people. But we're nosy because the more information we have and we know, the better we'll be able to place you in the right loan for you. A lot of people don't know that you got to come to us first.
Yeah.
To get the financing before you can see a realtor. But the realtors, because they're out there, can you help me see? Oh, I want to see this beautiful house, right? Unless you have the cash, unless you're from California, sold your house in Compton and made $1 million and you moved out here and you want to buy the house cash, then you won't need us, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think there's more people. There's like 7 million people here in Arizona now, I think, or maybe more. I don't know what the number is, but they all, need financing.
Well, since we kind of already started in that topic, do you want to give kind of like your backstory? What made you get into this industry? What sparked your interest in it?
So, as I mentioned before, I got into this industry about 25 years ago. When I was in high school, my brother, was driving a Mercedes-Benz. And so I think that led me to be like, okay, how did you get that? And what do you do? I hope you're not selling drugs or anything, right? But he told me, no, I work at a mortgage company, and I can get you in if you want. He got me in the door, but I had to start at the very bottom. Mm-hmm. I got in the facilities department, which is the worst of the worst you can get. So you just made sure that everything was like, order the pens, order paper, a lot of the crap that people use on a daily basis that is just there. You don't see who's putting it there. Well, I was the guy in the background.
You were the one putting it there.
Yeah. But I saw a lot of older people, and I said, man, do I have to be old to be a loan originator? Because you saw people with suits, ties, and I'm like, I didn't see a lot of young kids. And so I had a conversation one time with one of the managers, and I asked him, I said, hey, bro, do you need to have a degree to do this? Mm-hmm. He's like, you have two options. You can go get a finance degree, or you can just learn as you grow. I didn't want to go to school because that meant I had to leave my job.
Yeah.
So what I did, I started hanging out with people that were older than me, and I would take them out to lunch, and I would ask them questions. Hey, how'd you get into this? How can I get into this? So I started befriending loan officers, loan originators. And I remember one of the guys said, dude, I think you do good. So I go talk to the manager and he says, bro, it's sink or swim. He's like, there's no second chances for you. It's either you do it or you don't. And so I said, I will do it. I can do it. And I realized very quickly that I started doubting myself, because I went home and he says, okay, I'm going to give you the opportunity. You're going to be a loan originator next 2 weeks. So I went home and I was like, man, I started psyching myself out. I was scared. I was very scared. But I knew that the people I was around, I heard them long enough to try to fake it, right? Till you make it.
Fake it till you make it.
Over the years, I've got into management roles. I was leading teams, Hispanic divisions. And, eventually I started my own company, which is now Loans Direct Funding. Through Loans Direct Funding, I try to do everything that they never gave me the opportunity to do. It was because they just didn't want to invest in me. It molded me to be who I am today.
Yeah.
And the person that I am today is, I give opportunity. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm more about, let me help you. I'm not going to look down on you, because I was looked down upon. And being humble goes a long way.
Oh, for sure.
I think understanding that the gifts that God gives you, it's up to you to decide how you apply those gifts to everyday people. He's given me these qualities to be able to have a future. But it was my faith all throughout the process, and why God has blessed me through my course of, the 25 year that I've been in this industry. I believe that our biggest thing that we should be doing is having a relationship with God, like directly with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because that's what matters, is repenting of your sins, and just giving it to God, to Christ, and let Christ guide you. He'll provide everything for you, but you have to have faith and you have to trust. And I look back in my life and I'm like, man, God was there the whole time, always. Like, horrible situations, good situations, it's just you get clarity when you look back.
You need a lot of faith, because it's not like a constant thing. It's not a secure thing, I'd say, especially at first.
Yeah, you started about 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, like 2 years ago now.
And I always tell people this, because Eric is newer to our industry. When I met him, he was very motivated. He still is. And I asked him, I said, hey, do you have your license? And he said, yeah. I said, how many times did it take you to take the test before you passed it? And you said one. One time. When I met him, I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, man, this kid's smart. Because he was smart enough to understand that if I need to pass this test. So he put everything to the side, whatever his daily life was, and he said to himself, I'm going to pass it on the first try. It takes a lot of discipline. And so what I knew about Eric is that he has discipline. So when you came on board, I tried to pre-warn him of the potential pitfalls, but I knew that if he stuck with it, that he was going to be very successful. And he continues to prove me over and over and over again of why I made the right decision with you. I think it was, first of all, you're a great guy.
Thank you.
Ladies, he's not married, handsome guy. Go for it.
I know I need to get married soon because, I just paid my taxes and I'm looking for like some type of relief there. So,
Ladies, I want to have kids.
Yeah, kids. Oh, kids help a lot. Kids help a lot.
Well, back to the mortgage industry and the licensing part of things. And, there's a lot of misconceptions out there. It's like, a lot of people that give up in our industry, if you give up, then you're probably going to give up in everything. I want to tell people that it wasn't rosy, it wasn't daisies for me when I first started. I had ups and downs. I thought I was always going to be doing great, and we didn't. Why? I would ask myself, why didn't I work that extra 2 hours? We can stop and really kick ourselves for the whys.
Yeah.
So I changed it to just do. Just do it. Do. And wherever the chips fall, they'll fall. And at the end of the day, this industry will give you everything you put into it. This is a marathon, not a sprint. It took you so much to make, your first commission or whatever. It took you 3 months, 4 months. But when you get your commission and then you have another follow-up commission and you have another customer closing, it's like a snowball effect, right?
Yeah.
You get one customer, you pre-qualify them, they're all looking for properties, you get another, you get another, you get another. Yeah, you didn't close anything that first month. But maybe the second month you close one. Then you get more customers. Then the third, by the fourth month, you should close 3, 4, 5 loans. But it makes up for all those months that you put in all the hard work, right? I remember when he started and you made a big check. I remember telling you, would you have it any other way? Because the commission, when you divide it into an hourly wage, you're still making more than most people are in a 9-to-5 job. It's not for everybody, but when you look at it from a bird's eye views perspective, it's a beautiful industry for a lot of people, and it provides a good life to a lot of us.
Yeah, and you end up helping a lot of people too. Yeah, I mean, just the process of being able to help people, I think, is definitely more rewarding than the money. It's just crazy too, because the amount of gratitude that maybe not all, but a lot of clients will have.
It's emotional. Sometimes they call you crying. I never thought I could do this. Thank you. I thought, what the hell? I'll give it another shot, but you helped me get here. And that's the most beautiful thing about our industry. If you're coming into our industry because you want to make the most money, that's fine. But that shouldn't be your motivation. Your motivation should be the content of the customer when they buy their first home.
I feel like you've been saying it since the first time I met you. It's a numbers game.
It is. It's a numbers game. In our industry, the more people you touch, the more opportunities you're going to have. Yeah. And I tell my kids this all the time too. I have three little boys. I think it was Wayne Gretzky that said it. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Michael Scott?
Huh?
Michael Scott in The Office?
Yeah, him too. But it was Wayne Gretzky that said it. But it's so true. When you first started, like the first day you started with me, I remember I was a little envious of you.
Why?
Because I remember telling myself, man, if I was in Eric's position, like, I have nothing to lose. Like, dude, I would just be like killing it. And that's what you did, right? Like, you made your calls, like you started. It was difficult at first. I was lucky enough that you had already taken the test. Like,
yeah.
You had already passed it. So you had already done all the dirty work. And I say dirty work because you really just need time.
Yeah.
And energy. And you have to want it, right? Then when you came over here, it was easy for me because I was just like, okay, bro, this is how we do this process. This is the system we use. It's amazing. This is how we run credit. This is et cetera, et cetera. But we'll share everything, full disclosure with all of you guys. So you can learn if you're a new loan originator and you don't have your manager helping you, or, because managers are also, sometimes you get managers that are producing managers.
Yeah.
And they're busy. And they'll say, yeah, they'll hire you. I'll help you. But then you feel like you're in an island somewhere, because when you need the help, it's like, I'll help you, but after I do mine, right? Because I want to get paid too.
Right.
So there's a lot of that as well that you're going to have to navigate. But we're going to try to help you to where you find the right place, and you know what the pitfalls are going to be and how to steer clear of them so you can be the best that you can be.
Yeah. One of the things I had on my little list is, would you go back to working W-2, regular 9-to-5? Because we're just commission. I know some loan officers, right, they get paid a salary, and then on top of that, they get paid commission.
Yeah. There's no, and I mean, I love that. That's great. But hourly by myself, like, if you're asking me, so for me, will I ever go back to a 9-to-5, like, hourly job? Never. I would never do that. It may work for you. It won't work for me. My success that I've created for myself is being there for my kids.
Yeah.
It's being able. Sometimes I'm not here, right? I come into the office every day, right? But sometimes I leave early because I go pick up my kids from school. That's my success.
That's the freedom you have too, because you're not in a 9-to-5.
That's true. But the other aspect of it is that on the weekends you're also working sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Because realtors are out.
Yeah.
Hey, I have this scenario, so you got to be available.
Yeah.
Availability is
a big one.
A big one.
Especially on weekends.
Yeah, you have to be available. If you are not available and you tell your agents you're going to be available and you don't answer, they won't work with you anymore.
Yeah.
You know, because they're also working for commission, and they're out there hustling, like in the heat. You know, you better be available or take the call or move out to the side.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a big thing people misconstrue, is that like just because you're not in a 9 to 5, so maybe we don't work.
Right.
But you not being in a 9 to 5, you kind of end up working all the time, because it's whenever your phone rings, you have to answer it.
You have to answer it. 100%. You have to answer the calls. I agree.
That's true.
Yeah. I think the next segment that we talk about, maybe next week, is how to become a loan originator, and what the pitfalls are going to be for them, what they should look for. Now, this podcast is not going to be, come work with Loans Direct Funding, right? It's not that.
Yeah.
It's not going to be that. If you're happy where you're at, stay where you're at. Like, I mean, if you want to look at other options or other scenarios of, hey, can I make more money over there? Is the grass greener? Sometimes the grass may not be greener for you on the other side, right? I'm not going to be the guy that created this podcast to tell everybody, look, we're the best. You know.
Yeah, it's not to gloat.
It's not. It's really just to help you make an informative choice if you decide to come into our industry. It's really more for educating the community around us.
Yeah.
And if it goes outside of that, great. We're licensed in other states too. But maybe we touch upon that next week. If you want to be in our industry, what the big dogs, meaning big companies, what to expect from them. But not just a loan originator. There's a lot of important people, loan processors, assistants.
Yeah, there's a lot of people behind the scenes, even behind us, that, I mean, are always working. It's maybe from like a client's point of view, you think it's just you, and maybe your assistant, and it's just you two, but there's a whole team just behind everybody. Just a lot of people you don't see. So it's, like you said earlier, there's so many moving parts. But that's why we're here, right? Because the client doesn't want to deal with that when they're buying a house.
If the customer had to deal with everybody behind the scenes, they would be talking to about 10 people.
Yeah, they'd go crazy.
Yeah, they'd be like, who the hell are you?
There's a lot of things coming, a lot of info. I think for
Lots
sure
of stuff.
next episode, that'd be a good topic to talk about. What do you want to, like, how, if you want to get into this industry, how do you do it? Because it's definitely confusing, and you need a good support system.
Yeah.
I think it's important, too, that we talk about failures, too, right? Because people want to learn from other people's mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's good to show the bad and the ugly.
Well, I have more failures than I have successes. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, I'm excited about this podcast. I'm excited to talk about the things that we like, the things that we want. I'm sure you guys will start learning our personalities here pretty quickly. I am, you guys are just going to have to wait and see, because
you'll definitely see a lot as it gets more, as we get more used to recording.
Yeah.
And more relaxed. Yeah. A lot better with flow. It's, but definitely a lot more education to come on the loan officer side. Programs, I guess we can dabble in that too. Kind of just explain different things.
Also, who our favorite lenders are.
Yeah, who our favorite lenders are.
Yeah, who we send business to, why we choose them, either because of the rates, because of the process, because they're there to help our customers. I mean, I think it's important that we just disclose a lot, just our day to day. I mean, I think it's important because if we like working with the lender, maybe they'll like working with the lender, whoever's out there, So that's an added benefit to them. Maybe help them increase their business as well. Awesome. Well, from Jerry and Eric, thank you for watching the home game, and we'll see you next week.
Later.